Welcome back to another episode of Unpacking Life with the box and the basket. You gotta be more impressive with the basket.
New Year's Eve basket.
And you get you like a little red hood.
Yeah.
So we're just getting back from Christmas and trying to repad our wallets from the damage that we took.
You don't even know.
I do.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so next week we have New Year's in 4 days.
Yes.
4 days. So, we've been talking about the new year, honestly, since the beginning of this year. We usually try to prep the year before and, get our New Year's resolutions. We don't actually do any New Year's resolutions.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about, right?
Yep. So
why we don't like them.
Yep. So before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate y'all listening, watching, however you're getting our content. So let's get into it. Vanessa's very passionate about this.
I just hate them. I just hate when, like...
I do too, though.
Yeah. So...
Like, my biggest thing, and we see it every year, is the gym. Like, people have the New Year's resolution that they're going to go to the gym and work out and be more healthy. And then, like, February comes and the gyms are empty again. But I think just because you set a New Year's resolution, it's not going to change who you are. It's going to change your work ethic. It's not going to change your motivation. It's not going to make you a better person just because you have this. It will for the short term. It's like diets, right? Like, you get into a diet and you're like, oh, this is new. I'm going to do this. And then you fall off because... you revert back to who you are.
Well, I think that's why people fall off, because of the problem within a New Year's resolution. So, like, that's kind of what we're going to talk about, like why we don't like them and what you should do instead of making a New Year's resolution. Because I think the idea behind it is great, right? Like, you're trying to change yourself for the better, typically. I don't think anybody makes a resolution to be worse at something.
Yeah.
But the basic concept of, like, I'm going to start on January 1st is not enough.
Right. Like, start now. Start whenever you're thinking about it.
And I say that to people all the time, especially, like, at the gym or in class. Like, oh, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to do this. And, like, no, just
do it now.
The mindset behind that is setting you up to fail. Like, just relying on, well, now when I write the date, it's 2024.
No.
And it's after 1/1 is going to make me healthier, is going to make me achieve my goals, is going to make me a better mom, parent, friend, whatever. Like, it's not going to happen. Right. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah. Like, you don't... There are certain things that you can manifest. Like, you can speak it into existence.
I also don't believe in that.
You don't think so?
No. I think that's the biggest crock of baloney. I'm going to manifest that I'm going to be retired by 32, and then I retire by 32. Like, a lot of the influencers, like, especially, like, the younger, like, girls in their 20s and 30s, like, no, you had an OnlyFans, and that's why you're retired. Or, like, there's something else that happened.
Right.
I mean, they're saying, like... I don't mean to be harsh about it, but it's like, you know, you're putting positive energy out, so something positive will come back. But you're also putting in the work. It's not just going to happen. You're sitting on your couch and like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. You manifest it, but that you have to actually also do things. Right. So it's just really
for some people,
trickery.
It's motivation for them to do it. Like, it holds them accountable. Just like, who is that? I think it's Matthew McConaughey. He, like, wrote himself a check for, like, $1 million or something, and then had, like, a date on there, and, like, he worked himself up to that, where he was getting a check for $1 million or more, you know, years down the road. But I think it's just, like, an accountability thing, and it helps some people, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, journaling and stuff like that. It helps people.
I think the biggest mistake that people make with New Year's resolutions is that they do like the all or nothing approach.
Yeah.
Like they want to change their whole life with a date change. Like they're going to be more healthy. They're going to go to the gym. They're going to make more money. They're going to have boundaries. They're going to take care of their body. They're going to read. Like all these things that you're setting yourself up for failure because you're not doing it in bite-sized pieces.
Right.
And I think that's what we try to do. Like we think of a big goal that we want to accomplish. And then we don't say, oh, well, by February 1st, we're going to be millionaires or whatever. Like you have to like be realistic about your goals and make them bite-sized goals, I think, that you're taking little steps at a time to like accomplish that goal. Like if you want to lose, I don't know, 50 pounds and I think, so part of that is also knowing yourself, right? Like if you're a super overachiever and you could do anything and you can change your life overnight, great. But we're just not wired that way, right? Like how long does it take to change, like, what do they say? To get a new habit?
7 days.
It says, I looked it up.
Oh.
Take a life, 6. Well,
did you say take a life?
I'm reading something. So 66 days it says, and then another website said 30 days, and then this one I think is the most accurate because it says 18 to 254 days, which I think it depends on the person, and that's why it varies because it depends on your lifestyle, your resources, who's around you, who supports you, your circle of friends, like. There's so many things that can impact that. Like if you have a non-supportive husband and you're trying to start a new business.
Oh, yeah.
Or let me say non-supportive spouse so I don't get in trouble again for bashing men. But if you have a supportive spouse, you're going to have a harder time. So bite-sized pieces. So if you want to, for example, lose 50 pounds, start with, every week I'm going to work out twice. Yeah. Or something that's
even once
is attainable for your lifestyle.
More than what you're doing now. Because obviously whatever you're doing now is keeping those 50 pounds.
Yeah.
So go on a walk. Go to the gym once a week. Start off something small. And then once you get used to the once a week, like, all right, I'm going to go twice a week. Yeah. Me, I'm an idiot. And I just started going 6 days a week.
Yeah.
When I left the PD. But like I
knew you have not
do it.
Stopped.
Right.
And it's been almost like a year.
Yeah.
But that, again, like you knew our schedule and I'm supportive of it and it fits in our schedule. So it's attainable because you do have the time between like 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. To do it. And it's not unrealistic. Now, if somebody said, they have a 9 to 5 and they're going to start working out 6 days a week, it's probably not going to happen. Like, when are you going to see your friends? When are you going to see your family, your kids?
Up super early.
When are you going to go grocery shopping? Like that, now a more attainable goal would be, during my lunch break, I'm going to go on a walk around the building or outside or something like that. So I think it's...
I don't even know where the New Year resolution idea came from.
I did not look that up, but whoever it was not like...
Curious now. Probably gyms. Gyms. It has to be like something in the fitness world.
I don't know. It's New Year, new start, everybody says.
New year, new me.
Another way that you could look at it is like set a goal for each month. Like in January, I'm going to work on my mindset. So I'm going to read books or take time for myself and work on my mindset because that is something that could help you all year long. If your mindset is right, then, you can accomplish a lot more. And then maybe in February, you work on the people that are around you. Like you want to be surrounded by more people that support you and like cut off relationships that are not like helping you in your life. So whatever it is, I'm not saying that's exactly what you have to do, but if you set a goal every month that you can work on, it's a lot easier than saying, I'm going to start reading, start exercising, cut out all the sugar, not have any alcohol, cut off bad relationships. Did I already say read? Start a side hustle, do this. Like, it's too much. Yeah. And then it's like all or nothing.
Right.
They can't do it all, so they just give up. They're like, well,
Obviously, this
it's
is too hard.
January 10th and I didn't do everything on my 12 list resolution list, so now I'm just going to give up completely.
Right.
So a lot of people do that all or nothing approach, and then they don't plan for it. That's another big thing. Like, they don't plan, like, how are you going to execute these goals?
Yeah.
You can have all these goals, but if you actually took the time to sit down and plan for them, you would quickly figure out that maybe you're like stretching yourself too thin and it's going to be unrealistic, and really you're setting yourself up for failure by not planning for how you're going to execute your goals.
Yeah.
Did you look up the New Year's
I
resolution?
did. So apparently, the ancient Babylonians were about 4,000 years ago, were the first people to make New Year's resolutions. But they basically used the first day of the year to reflect back on the past and realize what mistakes they made, and then try to resolve those past mistakes with, I guess, resolutions to those problems. So that's where that came from.
Which brings me to another method I have, or tip to share for New Year's resolutions. So instead of setting all these resolutions and goals, do a life audit. So like audit your finances, your self-care, your relationships, your business or job situation. So categorize it and then give yourself a grade.
Yeah.
So like if you're eating out every day and you're not exercising, you're probably going to get an F.
Right.
But maybe you're really involved with your kids and your family and your relationships, so maybe you're getting an A or B. So grade yourself on those honestly. I mean, nobody's going to be looking at it, so grade yourself honestly. And then make a goal to like, okay, well, I'm failing in this department, but I'm doing great in this department. Now I'm going to get my F in health to a C.
Yeah.
And then just do little things. And I feel like was what you just said, that they would look back on the year.
Reflecting.
And I think auditing your life and saying, what did I like and what did I not like about 2023?
Right.
And just staying conscious of like what your big goals are and what you want to accomplish will help you achieve those things.
Right.
So,
yeah.
What grades would you give yourself?
A's and everything.
In everything? No.
I'm a confident person.
Oh, so you're like a Roman. A in everything.
Yeah.
A for effort.
No, I mean, it's good. I remind myself a lot,
good,
though.
No?
It's good, no? Oh, Canada. Yeah, I remind myself a lot of, like, when I started working out and stuff more consistently. Like, I'm still not where I want to be, and I still, like, see myself as the old me. But then I remind myself, like, there's still people that are beginning their journey and people that probably look at me and be like, I want to be where he is. Just like I look at other people and I'm like, I want to be where they are. So it, like, keeps me motivated to keep going. So I hold myself accountable. Because honestly, I don't care what other people think about what I look like. But I care about what I feel like and what I look like to myself more than anybody else. So come at me in the comments. Like,
don't invite the
like, it doesn't, I don't know, nobody can tell me anything I haven't already told myself, you know.
Right.
And I think that's what keeps me motivated to, like, keep going. And I mean, if I set a New Year's resolution, I would probably accomplish it just out of ego more than anything. Like, I don't like to fail.
Well, I feel like some people are better at executing goals than others, but even if you're not good at it,
Yeah.
it's not a crutch. Like,
Right.
I think some people are like, well, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're just
how I'm
using the wrong process to accomplish your goals, because maybe, you know, you have a friend that does it this way and they just put their mind to it and they can do it, but maybe that doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
So I think a big problem too is that a lot of our daily actions don't give us an immediate negative result. So like if I eat a donut today, it's not going to instantly make me unhealthy or overweight or whatever. I'm not going to gain like 30 pounds right away.
Yeah.
So same like, oh, if I don't read this book or take time for myself today, it's not going to instantly make me grumpy tomorrow or like change my mindset. But it's because we don't see that instant negative result, we keep doing things that are not really helping us in our life and in achieving our goals. Right. So they continue happening. Is that a word? How do you say that?
They continue happening?
Yeah, that sounded right?
Yeah.
That sounded weird to me for a second. Whereas they've actually made apps now that, like, if you don't, like, you set a goal for yourself, right? And you're betting against yourself. Right. So, like, if you...
Oh, I've seen that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And really, I think it's rewiring your brain to recognize that little things add up to big things, like the butterfly effect that you were talking about. That everyday little habits and things that you do can get you to your goals faster or slower, whether you would do those or not. And in these apps, like say you set a goal that you're not going to have any sugar for the week. If you have sugar and you cave and you don't meet your goal, then it takes money from you, like out of your account. I don't really know if that's very effective, because if I knew that, then I just wouldn't want... I would just lie, so it doesn't take money out of my account. But maybe, I think some of them are like hooked up to your app, like, and are around exercising, so it can track if you did something or not. So then you couldn't really trick it unless maybe you hooked up your watch to your dog and let it run around the,
That's a lot of work.
Whatever. But I think the biggest thing is mindset, and people try to jump the gun. Like, I'm going to accomplish all these things, but I'm not going to work on my mindset and breaking down like negative self-talk that I have or barriers that I'm placing on myself. So then they hit a stumbling block and they have a bad day or a bad week, and then they instantly go to, well, this happened before and I knew I couldn't do it and all this, and then they just give up instead of, I think working on your mindset is a lot of things that people miss. I think it's like the groundwork, I feel like, for a lot of things.
I think the two biggest things, in my opinion, is accountability and confidence.
Yeah.
Like confidence in yourself that you can do this, even if you take little steps and it takes you longer to get there, like you can do it. And then the accountability part, I think, is the most important, because it's like, trying to think, I don't know the name of it, but like the shopping cart. Have you ever heard that? Like the shopping cart, I don't know if it's a theory or what, but like there's no accountability. Like if you leave your shopping cart in the parking lot in front of a car, like nobody's going to come out and arrest you or give you a ticket, but it's the right thing to do. But if you have somebody out there that's like cart patrol and holding people accountable or embarrassing them, because there are, like, I don't know if you've ever seen those videos of like the dude that he like walks around and he'll like bring somebody's cart that they didn't put it back into the little cart carousel or whatever, and he'll be like, hey, is this your cart? And then they'll like put them on camera and stuff. And so I think it's the accountability or the lack of accountability that some people have, where, oh, nobody, like, what's going to happen if I don't go to the gym today? What's going to happen if I eat this donut right now? I love donuts.
Well, that's why like, a lot of people do like challenges as a group.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of those work. Like you guys did one at the gym earlier this year and a lot of people completed the whole thing because they were being held accountable.
Yeah.
But if it's just somebody that sets a goal to themselves, like it's a lot easier just to kind of get sidetracked or stop doing it.
And I think, again, it depends on the person that you are. Like, I'm super self-critical, so I will criticize myself more than anyone else.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't really need, like, I can set a goal for myself and I can meet it, because if not, I'm going to be in my head like,
you know that you failed.
You didn't do it.
Yeah.
Where some people need, like you said, an accountability partner. That's why I think those challenges that you do as a group are so effective sometimes, because you know, you're competing against other people and you want to like show them that you can do something. So when it says 30 days no alcohol, like Corey, like they did not cave one single day.
Did you?
Yeah. But for me, it wasn't that important. I was just doing it
Yeah.
to be in it with other people
Right.
and like really support them. My goals in that didn't really matter as much.
Yeah.
But then in like September, I decided that I don't want to drink anymore because I saw like one reel that really got to me. And then basically you're just consuming poison.
Yeah.
And
But it's fun poison.
no, but then I don't know.
We're
And I
not
was just
big
like, you know what? I'm going to stop
drinkers
drinking because for a long time, we never really drank. Like we would never go to a restaurant and order a drink.
Right.
Dessert, other story, a different story. But, and then like we just went to more social things and I had like a really good drink for the first time. Like Ro made me like this lavender whiskey and that like it was downhill from there, I would say. Like at social gatherings, then we would drink, like one of us and the other would drive. And then one day I just decided like I don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
And for now, that's how it is. Like I don't have that feeling of like I'm missing out on something. Whereas like cutting out sugar or candy and pastries is a lot harder for me.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to,
I think it's impossible.
I could. I've done it. Like when I
Sure?
thought I had cancer.
What happened in Germany?
Well,
What?
that's different. It's not processed poison like it is in the United States.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, you thought you had cancer? What?
I stopped eating sugar.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, you're fine.
It's like,
Then
give me all the sugar.
But I also like I can limit myself.
Yeah.
I have one small piece usually after lunch or dinner.
Right.
And that's it, once a day.
Yeah.
I'm not like some people are like, if I open a box of chocolates, I have to eat the whole thing.
That's me.
So I am disciplined
Not with
because I
chocolate.
only eat one piece.
I could be eating 20.
Yeah.
But yeah. I feel like we set goals every year. That's kind of a resolution, right?
And I mean, we do like the life audit, I would say. We don't really grade ourselves.
No.
I think that's effective, especially if you're trying to do it with the kids. As they get older, I know you like despise it. You're like, oh, are we going to plan again? Because you just like flying by the seat of your pants. Is that how you say it?
See.
That's what I said.
The seam of your seat.
What?
Flying by the seam of your seat?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
That's what it is.
Anyways.
We'll look it
You
up
just
after.
like going like, going with the flow. And I'm very structured. But slowly over the years, we've been together in a couple weeks, almost 12 years.
Right.
You're adapting good traits from me, and I'm adapting bad ones from you. Good ones from you. And so at a young age, we started doing this at a smaller scale, of course, with the kids. I'm not going to sit there with them and be like, what do you want out of your life? And they're like, 8 years old. But like Deanna's about to be 15. So we say, like, what did you like about this year? Did you show up for your friends? Were you a supportive friend?
Right.
Were you confident in yourself? How did you do at your sports? How did you do in school? What do you want to change? So like we have these conversations with them at a young age to just make them aware of things around them and to teach them that they are in control of their goals, what happens to them, and how their life pans out.
Yeah.
And like Aubrey loves doing it, like little things like, oh, well, next year, and they'll say fun stuff like, we had a goal, for example, for Dion loves calling me out on it, for 2023, that we would do like pizza night, or one of them he told me recently, he's like, Mom, what happened that once a week somebody would pick a recipe and we would try a new recipe.
Yeah.
And we did it like, I don't know, 5 times. And he's like,
Right.
you said we would do it every week. And I'm like, okay, you're right. We failed that one. That's probably a D- that we would get on that. So,
But I think with that too, it makes them more self-aware, more like positive thinking with themselves. Because you think about like, what did I accomplish this year? What didn't I accomplish, and what can I do to accomplish it later or still?
yeah.
So that definitely helps with their confidence as well.
Yeah. And then they start thinking, like, once you open the door for those conversations, it happens more frequently. Like, Aubrey now comes to us and she's like, you know what? I really like this, but I don't like this anymore. Can I try this? So also it just teaches them to speak up for themselves and like think about their life, even though they're young.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might be messing them up, but for now it's working.
It's fine. They're doing all right.
Which brings me to every year we say we're going to do this and we never do. So we fail at plenty of things. Every year I'm like, we should weekly write down as a family, like what was like our favorite thing about the week or like something fun that happened. You write it on a piece of paper and you put it in a jar. So then on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve or whatever day you pick, if you're doing it weekly, you should have 52 stories that you read back, because a lot of the things we forget. I mean, we don't forget because we do our audit and we go through the year and like, what did we like, blah, blah, blah. We talk about it. But I think that's a cool thing to do. Like every week you're writing down something that you did and then you reflect on it at the end of the year, which I feel is also in a way a form of accountability, because you don't want to have an empty jar at the end of the year. Right? With like
I'll probably be writing 50 things down in this week.
So there is, I don't know. I just think that if you want to change for 2024 and there are things that you want to accomplish, like we don't set huge goals. Our goals kind of just progress a little bit, like especially for business, I would say. Like our business planning and our life planning is separate, but they go together.
Right.
But for me, if we're planning for next year and we have a lot of changes coming, I feel like we're kind of messing up in 2023. Like you should not be waiting that long to change your life. No. So for us, we don't usually have a ton of changes because we're actively, every day trying to make things better for ourselves. So it's not like, oh, we're going to change our whole life around. Like we're around the people that we want to be around. We're around people that support us. We're meeting our financial goals. We're working on our business like we want to. We're spending good family time, good time with our friends. Like a lot of the things could use improvement, but we have like a good baseline. We're taking care of ourselves, our health.
Yeah.
So, and also I think a lot of things are more lifestyle changes as opposed to like resolutions. Like if you want to be like ripped and fit, then
it means I have to give them my donuts and
eating. Then you have to make extreme changes. So it's not, and a lot of people say that it's not like your diet. You need to completely change what you're doing and become more disciplined and all that. So hopefully that was helpful somewhat. Take it's like eat the whole fish and then spit out the guts. Like just take the meat
on that note
off of the fish that you need and spit out the rest.
Let us know if you like New Year's resolutions, if you don't like them. If you do, what helps you accomplish those New Year's resolutions,
and what maybe your goals are.
Far off the mark. Who knows? So, but we appreciate y'all listening, watching, however you're getting our content, and we'll see you on the next one.